Hello and welcome everyone. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. The Junction Coalition is a grassroots organization, and today we are doing the second round of our job fair. Up on the screen, you can see some of the services that Junction has to offer. We have restorative justice, economic transformation called the JET Center, housing, which Ms. Eunice will be on momentarily, and she'll be discussing some financial aspects of what it takes as a young person to get a job and be able to keep your money in your hands. Educational enrichment, which is tutoring, jobs opportunity and youth, which is the project that is actually holding this job fair today. Welcome to everyone. And environmental advocacy, which is one of my specialties. My name is Megan Powell. I'm program manager and environmental specialist for the Junction Coalition. Our executive director, Ms. Alicia, is on the call today. Ms. Alicia, if you'd like to say a few words.
Hello, everyone. I'm super excited to hear the amazing work of all our partners who are on to talk about jobs, opportunities, and youth. With me tonight, I actually have some young people on listening, and I just believe that you're going to have all kinds of young people reaching out to you to begin to work for you. We cannot do this without you. So thank you to each of our partners on tonight, and thank you to Ms. Megan and Ms. Eunice for all of the hard work you've done to get us to this point. I'm looking forward to a great opportunity to learn more. Back to you, Ms. Megan. Ms. Eunice might be having trouble getting on, and that's perfectly okay. So what I will do is I'm going to come on off of this, come back on the screen. I am in Houston, Texas right now, having good conversation with a number of individuals around environmental employment. So you're going to learn from Ms. Tisha, from Ms. Sims, from Mr. Fairchild, all of the work that you can do in Toledo. And young people, as you learn these skills with these amazing employers, you also begin to have a tracking system into your work history. And many times young people say, well, I've never had a job. Well, have you ever babysat? That's a job. Now you're getting ready to go into the world of work and working with amazing leaders as what you see today. And that is exactly what you want. You want to be able to say back to Miss Sims, when you start working for her and you want to go off into that career, Miss Sims, can you write me a letter of recommendation? Can you give me a reference? You'll start hearing these things. So being at the job and not having your phones out and not, high-fiving your friends, that's just code switching, right? But when you are over there with Miss Tisha and she's having you help do some things and improving folks' lives and doing some manufacturing work, you want to make sure that you're putting your best foot forward, because you never know when you're going to need Miss Tisha to give you a referral. And going right over to Mr. Fairchild, and he looks like he's going to be right on top of you, making sure things are great and making sure things are wonderful. You want to be able to go back and build a network. What is your net? How does your net worth influence your network? And how does your network influence your net worth? That's a whole nother conversation for next week, but I'm looking forward to having Ms. Eunice. As they see Ms. Megan is back. Ms. Megan, I am going to silence myself and get off the screen because I can't wait to hear.
Thank you, everyone, for being patient with us. We were having some technical difficulties. We do have Ms. Eunice on, and she's going to talk to us about being responsible and how to keep our money in our pockets once we get these jobs.
All righty. Thank you so much, Miss Megan. Thank you so much, Alicia. Hey, Tisha, long time no see. And Miss Sims, I see you there, and everybody else. Welcome and thank you for coming and listening. One of the things that I am so passionate about when it comes to giving information out to the community is power is knowledge, and that knowledge about financials and financial literacy and managing your money is very, very important. No matter what age you are, whether a young adult, you're a senior member in the community, or if you are taking care of family, or if you like me in your late 50s, it's very, very important to make sure you manage your money and manage your money well. So what I just wanted to break down, I have it in some bullet points, and I just wanted to really break them down real quick for you, is knowing the value of money and understanding how money works for you, and making sure you manage it very well. One of the first things I always discuss is learning self-control. And basically is, we don't want to be so impulsive, especially now. Things are just so different. We live in such a different world compared to 7-10 years ago. And, with the pandemic and being in that for the past 2 years, it just really brought to light a lot of things as far as how, we have challenges with managing our money. And when something comes into play like the pandemic, and someone's health is you're having trouble with your health, or you get sick, it is really important to understand what you need to do to kind of mitigate the challenges that your family is going to face. And illness is what we call a life event. That's something that can change the trajectory of where you're going with, as far as, a career, education, and certain things like that. So you want to, watch your self-control as far as impulsive spending, living above your means and doing certain things like that, and making sure you save and set money aside in order to, prepare for those type of things that will happen and take place, especially a life event. That is a big thing. Another life event would be, job loss and certain things like that, or more recently, finding employment. I know what they're saying out there, saying nobody wants to work. That's not necessarily true. You want to make sure that you have the skill set that you need to get a really good paying job, so that you can provide for your family. And then you want to make sure that that job that you are applying for is going to be suitable for what you need and what you want. So then that job can be fulfilling, so that you will want to stay at that job and really set your foundation and get yourself moving. Another thing is knowing where your money goes. Where does my money go? Well, you know where your money go by, a budget. You want to prepare yourself with a budget, that's a spending and a savings plan. It's not just saying this is what I bring in and this is what I pay out, which is the basics of a budget, but a budget goes more into things. You need to track it, understand where it's going, and then at the end of the week, make a decision about, okay, are these things important for me that I spent my money on? And if they're not, what can be eliminated? So then that frees up money. It frees up money for you to be able to pay down debt, put in a savings account, set it aside, and then also prepare for an extra emergency fund if you are able to do that. Guard your health. It's really important, again, to guard your health. I just said a second ago, the pandemic brought out a lot of challenges that our families across all demographics and income levels are facing a lot of challenges. And then how does that impact your health insurance? How does that impact those things? What if you're the primary wage earner? Whether you're a household size of 1 or whether you're a household size of 2 or 3, how does you getting sick impact the dynamics and the finances in the household? That is very, very important. And that goes back to making sure you plan for contingencies and you make sure you save and set money aside. Bank accounts. Where's the low cost money at? Low cost money is at the bank. So you want to develop a relationship with your local bank. That's where the low cost money is. That's where the credit is. They also provide a lot of community education now, especially on their websites. So a lot of good banks around in the city have really good information on their websites. PNC has wonderful programs. Premier Bank, Huntington Bank really launched an excellent program just in the last couple of years, centered around money management, which encompasses basic banking, savings. If you need to apply for a loan or something like that, they have that money there, and the low cost money is there. And most importantly is banks are regulated. So they cannot come in your community and try to strip your community of its wealth, be predatory in their practices and everything. So that's important. Start with that bank. That's where you want to develop that relationship at. Understanding your needs and wants. Yes, it is okay to want things in your life. That is totally fine. But can you afford it? Can I postpone paying it? Should I save for it right now if I don't have the money? And that kind of goes hand in hand with learning self-control. And I know through my own life experiences, when I wanted something and I saw it, now, I would get it, but then, oh goodness, I didn't pay a bill. So now I got to scatter around and try to figure out how I'm gonna pay this bill so I can keep lights on, so I can keep my car paid, keep payment current and certain things like that. So understand needs and wants. What is a need? A need are the 4 basic necessities that we need in life. That's food, your health care, clothing, because we cannot run around in our birthday suits, everybody. We can't do that. And also your medical. Medical is those are the 4 basic needs. We want to make sure, and shelter. The shelter is very important. So it's shelter, food, clothing, and healthcare. That is the 4 basic needs. And once you make sure those are locked down and those are taken care of, then you go into making sure you take care of everything else. What is a want? A want is some desires and things that we like. I love shopping. One of the big things that I like is jewelry, but I need to make sure I, plan that within a budget. If I know I don't have the money for it, then I'm not going to, take from one bill and pay that. I'm going to make sure that I save for it, or I just don't get it at that particular time. So that is very important. Sometimes when I'm teaching classes, I say delay gratification. It is really important to do that. You want to take care of those 4 basic necessities before we move on to do anything else. Again, especially now, because resources are so scarce. Or if you get a job, the job may not start you at the salary that you need in order to provide for your family. So you need to make sure that you take care of your necessities first, and keep those paid. Another one is saving for emergencies. Put money aside. No matter if it's $5, $10, $15, $25, work yourself up to putting that money aside consistently on a regular basis and not touching it. Consistently on a regular basis and not touch it. One of the terms I like is automatic pilot, where if you go to a bank or a credit union and they have it where they can set you up where you will, as soon as your paycheck is directly deposited, they can take it right out from your account and put it right over to a savings. What I like about a lot of employers now is they have it where they will divide that up for you. So once you become employed, you can ask the HR department, do you guys have that benefit where I can have part of my paycheck, maybe $10 to $25 of it, to go straight to a savings account? If an employer does not, I'm positive 100% that most of the banks in our community have it where they can transfer that money. And that's an automatic pilot, because then once it's out of sight, out of mind, you don't think about it. It's automatically going and it's just accumulating, and you're not touching it. That's a really good feature like that. I counsel with a couple of younger family members, and They're in the process of, doing that and everything. So develop a positive credit history. Well, with credit doesn't start until you're 18. People that are 18 and under do not have credit. So it starts at 18 and then it stays with you until. So starting that off on the right track is very important. You don't want to get yourself over obligated with applying for a lot of credit cards. Even still, laws are in place to keep people, organizations, I should say, from soliciting credit card applications and stuff for younger kids and college students, but they still do it nonetheless, right? Because, laws are in place, but people break laws every day. So what you want to do is when you are approached or solicited or it comes in the mail, wherever it is at a college open house or college registration day, make sure that, you don't get 10 credit cards, especially around the holiday time. That's a big thing, isn't it, Tisha? When we teach, it's a big thing that companies will start to solicit from you when it comes to credit and everything. So you want to be careful because you're just getting started out. You're 18, 19, 20, 24, 25. You're just getting yourself started and everything. And you don't want to get yourself bogged down with a lot of credit because you have to pay it back. You're dedicating your future income to paying that down. And that interest can really knock you over. So you want to be careful. One of the rule of thumbs that I go by is one major credit card right now, because the opposite side of that or the other side of that is credit utilization. Because you go, well, how can I build credit if you're telling me not to get credit? Well, one major credit card is fine starting out. And if you're in college and you got student loans, that is a form of credit and everything as well. So you will have that credit item on your credit report as well. Credit cards, just be careful. Be careful. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question. I know you mentioned the bank accounts. So this generation is currently using Cash App cards for everything. Is that something that you recommend?
Okay, so that's a really good question. I know some laws recently changed that they are requiring banks to report a specific dollar limit on people using Cash App and certain things like that. So okay, is it a resource? Yes, because it is today, we want things instantly, we want it now. You may be in a bind. I would say, yes, that's okay. Go ahead and use that. However, you don't want to abuse it. You don't want to abuse it. And then ask yourself this question. Why am I'm sending this money off, okay, or someone's sending me this money and I'm going to receive it and I want it instantly and it's going to cost me money to get it. Why every time that I get money deposited into my account, it's costing me money to get my own money? So people need to be careful of these things. They're quick, they're instant gratification and stuff like that, but you do want to be careful because then it starts to eat away at your money. If you don't think that $1.25 or 50 cents is not a lot of money, think about it over a period of time. 50 cents over 30 days, 50 cents over 90 days, $1.25 over 30 days. That's a lot of money. So if you use those types of things, you need to use them in moderation. You need to be careful and you need to make sure that they're secure. Okay. Financial goals is very important because it is different from person to person. So what my financial goals are might be different from yours, Megan, and everything. So while we are, with our friends and we kicking it and we're doing certain things, talk about that. What are your financial goals? What do you see yourself doing in 3 to 5 years? Are you going to college or do you want to go to trade school? Understanding that our financial goals are very different from one person to the other is very, very important. Absolutely correct, Tisha. eSusu savings or the self account is very important. And that does help a person to build credit. And that is something new through LISC, the local initiative. Yep, through the local initiative support corporation. And so hopefully, Tisha, you'll get a chance to talk about that today, if you can. One of the last things I want people to understand is nothing in life is guaranteed. Well, except death and taxes, but that's a whole nother conversation. But so nothing is guaranteed. So what do I mean by that? That even though sometimes we do everything as best we can with the resources that we have, we still may not get that approval. We still may not be able to get that item that we're looking for. That's okay. What do I need to do and who do I need to turn to in order to be able to make that goal happen and take place? So know when to ask for help. That is very, very important. I could talk about this all day long till I'm blue in the face and excited, but I will end with, please use me as a resource. Please use Ms. Megan as a resource. The Joy program is an awesome program. And whatever we can do to help you reach your goals, as far as jobs, as far as anything under money management, please reach out to us and let us know. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Eunice. That was wonderful information. We're going to go ahead and move on to Miss Alexia Sims of Village Academy. So nice to have you here. Excited to hear what you're doing. I was at your pop-up shop a couple weeks ago, and that was amazing. I listened to your podcast, so I'm just excited to see you and have you here. How's it going?
Thank you, Megan. I'm going to share my screen because I feel like this is just the best way to introduce who I am. Let's see if I'm good at this. There we go. Can you guys see it?
Yes.
Great. So, thank you everybody for tuning in. I am Alexia Sims of Village Academy. What do? I do a lot of things. I am titled what you call a serial entrepreneur. My main career is Village Academy. I love the kids. I've been in the childcare industry since 2003. I was a junior in high school when we opened a in-home daycare. In 2017, I spread my wings and started opening up childcare centers, helping others. So I also am a childcare consultant. And I guess it's kind of went over to business consultant due to these other businesses that I have. Using this website, you actually get to see it before it has been released because I am currently going back and forth with the website manager, but I can show you who I am through the website. It kind of shows you a lot about Village Academy. Village Academy, we are the region's first technology-based childcare center. So our focus is preschool. We do a little bit of childcare, a little bit of before and after school care, but our focus is technology-based preschool. What you see here is some of our lovely friends scrolling across because we have a partnership. Village Academy truly believes in partnerships. Partnerships makes your life easier as a business owner, but also allows the children to have access to things that you may not have access to. And one of those partnerships you see in the picture, City of Toledo, we have city's own David Ross of the Art Commission along. He's a part of the Junction Coalition. He's our artist. We have Wednesdays with an artist at Village Academy, and that allows David to come in and him and the kids actually do their thing. Like it could be bubbles and paint one day. David is an artist, so it gets a little messy around here, whatever him and the children do. As an entrepreneur, Village Academy is what we would call the bread and butter. That's the main business. But I have a lot of other things that I tend to tiptoe in. I'm big on multiple streams of income. So what we've recently started, this will be our second season. It's called The Backyard. The Backyard is an outside rental. It's actually located at my home. You can rent the back of my home, and there is a swimming pool there and plenty of lovely space. There's an option to rent inside and outside, and there's David again. We have all type of things that you can add on to this experience. So if you need tents like you see in this picture here, you need outside games. We have picnic tables available for rental. As you see in some of the pictures, you want to do a bonfire experience. We even have a projector we've projected onto the house for the late night parties. We also offer, the backyard comes with a porta potty setup, and this is just one additional company that I started. I noticed that people didn't have, so during COVID, we weren't having a public swimming pool, and people needed places to swim, and that's how this is a COVID business was created. Knowing that I had friends calling me and truly asking like, hey, can I rent out your backyard for my kid birthday party? When I first got my deck done, someone came and took their engagement pictures there, and it just started from there. So the need came from COVID. We also have Many Faces Podcast Studio. So let's see what they have on here. It's probably going to be easier to go this way. The podcast studio allows the kids to, let's see if they got some pictures. We don't got pictures of the podcast studio. Let's see, stop sharing. The podcast studio allows the kids to go in there. They actually record podcasts. So we have several podcasts currently coming out of the studio, which let me pull up another screen for y'all. That will allow me to show you. Uh-oh. It's not, I don't see the screen I need to show you. Give me 2 seconds here. So I am what you call a Facebook entrepreneur. Facebook, I use solely for the purposes of business. So when I say Facebook entrepreneur, I have multiple companies and they generate and they move just based upon Facebook. I use Facebook for a lot of traffic, a lot of booking. One of the other companies, hold on, I think I can pull it up now. There we go. Got a little share action here. So the backyard has its own Facebook page, and the traction for the backyard truly is me pumping publications through Facebook. My newest venue is called The Space. The Space is an inside venue. It allows for a larger audience. So what I was running into is that I had a smaller venue. We didn't have enough space for them. I needed a bigger venue, and me and my brother had a space. So that's what we titled it, The Space. The Space holds 200 plus people. And like I said, this is our newest venue. I also have, let's go back to the podcast studio. The podcast studio, on this page, you can find the podcasts that actually are connected with the studio. We have a sports themed podcast. We have Lessons with Lexi, which is my actual podcast where I'm telling you my lessons. You get to see the backsides and the insights. Now, I truly do use these insights when we are coming up with how we're going to promote each page. Facebook is truly for business for me. Like, I probably don't do too much personal posting. I'm truly using it as a business avenue. On the Many Faces Podcast Studio page, it allows someone, if they wanted to book time in the studio, they can reach out to us through there, or if they had questions about any podcasts that are coming from the studio. We currently have No Discounts Podcast, which is a podcast where we're talking about business and things that's going on locally in business, just with a little funny spin on there. We have Sidelines, which is a sports podcast. And they actually bring on local athletes. They don't have to be winning, but I mean, if they're winning, that's probably the talk of the town. And we also have Lessons with Lexi. We've even had daddy-daughter talk and a few other things that people hit and miss on. Podcasting is something new, and it is definitely an avenue to make money, but it requires consistency. With consistency, you build an audience, and that's when you begin to gain revenue. I still run my in-home daycare along with my mom. This is where it all started at. My experience mostly comes from the in-home daycare. So my in-home daycare is located inside the junction, 811 Belmont. From this in-home daycare, it allows me to get out here in the world and really bump my head a little bit and still always have something to fall back on. We also hire all summer youth. Every year I have a new season of summer youth. Some of them actually request to come back because they enjoy it so much, because my job is to pour into them. I am not just here to have you come work in my center. I'm here to give you some life skills. And if you truly love childcare, I'm here to give you the game. I'm gonna fill you up with as much information as possible. Look, because Alicia has put me in position, I've been doing a lot of federal calls here lately. So along with her and the junction, my participation in the junction, a lot of federal calls. So that little pop-up you just saw was somebody messaging. Another thing that I do, and it's not on this page, I do Toro. So I have a vehicle that is allowed to be rented out through a rental company, a hosting site called Toro. You actually pay for the hosting site. It's a percentage. The percentage depends upon the level of coverage that you want on your vehicle when someone else is driving. So you can have coverage as high as, like if they scratch a rim, it'll cover that. Or you can have basic, just, you know what, I'll take care of whatever takes place. But Toro is something new also, just like a Hertz or anything, it's just online based, where the community uses their own vehicles for people to rent out. I also manage a food truck. I don't have access to that page where I will show you. Big Meals on Wheels, though, is the name of the food truck. It was at the pop-up shop. Why do I manage a food truck? Because he needed help. In the food truck world, you have to just pop up out here and it's hit or miss on if you're going to make some money or not. So it's better to have a food truck manager who has connections to get you aligned with different events, because it's more of a guaranteed money. You don't have to spend 8 hours standing out on a corner and not really guaranteeing foot traffic, where if you actually book an event, you have more guaranteed foot traffic. All of these lovely things that I have in place here is what I spend my time doing. Everything that I do generates income other than giving back to the community. And I feel like that generates the passion for me. Like, a lot of people ask, why are you so involved in the community? Because I truly love this. This is the part that I love. Having a pop-up shop is not generating money. It allows me to pour into vendors. So the vendors, it allowed me to have an experience with them, because I'm normally dealing with kids. Telling them about some of the great things that Eunice has told me about that's available in the city, that we've learned about through lists, through the connections with Sandy Spain. Anything that I know about, I am sharing with these vendors, and that's really what I'm creating. Like Miss Alicia said at the beginning of this, your net worth is your network. So I'm making sure that I create a big network so that I can increase everyone around me net worth. I think that's all. We're gonna hand it back to Megan.
Thank you so much. When I was at your pop-up shop, I was just so happy to be there. Ms. Rivers was there, the food was there, the energy was there. So I definitely want to keep attending. Next, we're gonna go ahead and move on. Thank you again, Ms. Sims. We're gonna move on to Tisha from Goodwill. Miss Tisha, nice to see you.
Hello, nice being back. Thank you for having me. So let me share, let's see if it worked this time. Here we go. Share. All right, my name is Tisha Carroll. Why is it showing up twice? Can you guys see me? Hello?
Yes, we can still see you.
Okay, you guys can see it. Okay, my
I
name
can
is
see you, not your
Tisha
screen.
Carroll.
I'm sorry.
Screen. Okay, so let's try this again. I don't know why my computer gives me issues.
Because it loves you.
All right, let's try it again. Are you guys able to see my screen now?
Yes.
Yes, we can. And your lovely face on the side of it.
Great, great. Okay, so my name is Tisha Carroll, and I'm the Goodwill Career Path Program Manager. And So with the career path, we are basically our goal is to begin the process of eliminating generational as well as situational poverty. How are we going to do this? We're utilizing these free trainings to the community via informal educational opportunities, which are short-term certificates, such as your CDL classes, your advanced manufacturing, your computer skills, STNA classes. We also have some connections to some of the local unions. We've got tool and die classes. We have an individual right now that is about to go into welding. And we have a young lady that is an entrepreneur, and she's going to be doing some business consulting. So we've gotten her certified. Well, she's going through the certification process currently. Soon to come, we'll also have the lead abatement training. And then we'll connect each of our individuals in this program to employment coaches. The clients that are eligible for this program are individuals that are 200% of the poverty guideline and must have children under the age of 18. So our goal is to create a bridge, so to speak, to many of these different career paths for our participants. So that's one of the programs that we have at Goodwill. Secondly, we have the Job Connection Center, where we assist individuals to get into just like, if you just need something quick, we will find employment for you. And we also have employment within Goodwill. So as you see, we have a few account janitors that we're looking for, lawn crew. We have the retail stores that we can assist you with your applications or whatnot. We have job coaches that work with the disabled population. And we have a few manufacturing connections. Electroprime is one of them. We have Service Springs is another. The sky's the limit. So whatever your career path is or your goal is, we'll kind of work with that. And we have 2 sites for the Job Connection Center. Our first site is 1120 Madison Avenue, right across the street from the library. And we have the DeVoe location, which is 2600 West Sylvania Avenue. Let's see here. We also have a program called Stay the Course, and that's generally for individuals that are coming out of or that are in the halfway houses and are looking for services. So this is our reentry population that we assist in this area. Going back to what Ms. Eunice said, a good chunk of the issue is trying to connect people to employment that will stick. Yeah, there may be all these rumors that there's so much out here. There is a lot, but you need to be connected somehow to some agency or know somebody in order to get connected. We also have a partnership with ProMedica. So as we connect you to our services, our goal is also to stabilize employment and income. So we connect you to the Financial Opportunity Center, where you get a one-on-one free financial coach where they can work on your debt and credit. They can talk to you about your banking. If there's questions about bankruptcy, things of that nature, they can assist in those areas. So with that being said, Goodwill is looking for you. And one more thing that I would like to say before I end. One amazing thing is sometimes you might start at the bottom through Goodwill. You should never be discouraged, because one thing that I see within Goodwill, there is always opportunities to move up. There's always opportunities to move up. Our CEO started from retail and moved up. There was a young lady that I assisted last year. She went from basic retail to cashier, to head cashier, to store manager. So these are things that can happen for anybody that is diligent. So with that being said, if you would like to get connected to any of our employment opportunities or any of our programs, feel free to contact us. I'll put this phone number also in the chat. So if you guys have any additional questions, feel free to call.
Thank you very much, Ms. Tisha. Yeah, I think it is
You're
important
welcome.
that we let our kids know that just because you start in an entry level position, it doesn't mean that there won't be opportunities for you to move up. So thank you very much. We're going to move right along to Mr. Rob Fairchild from Meredith Party Rentals. Hello, Mr. Fairchild.
Hello, everybody. How are we doing tonight? I just want to piggyback on something that Tisha was just talking about, starting at the bottom. I've got several employees that came to us 20 plus years ago as entry-level employees, and now one of them is my assistant delivery manager who handles basically day-to-day in our warehouse. And there's another story that I found interesting on TV. Everybody's familiar with the Flamin' Hot Cheetos, right? Well, the gentleman that came up with the formula for the Flaming Hot Cheetos was the janitor at Frito-Lay, who's now the assistant vice president. That was on the History Channel on one of those Foods That Made America shows. And I just found that interesting. So don't be afraid to start at the bottom and work your way up. There's a lot to be said for hard work. So I'm going to share my screen here real quick. My wife showed me how to do this. Let's see if I can screw it up. Hey, look at that. And now I start slideshow, right?
You gotta go to slideshow.
I got to go to slideshow from beginning. Hey, look at that. Okay. So who are we? We're Meredith Party Rentals. We've been in business in the Toledo area for coming up on 35 years now. We've been a part of some of the largest events in the Toledo area, especially over the course of the last 5 to 10 years. And we continue to do that. Some of the large festivals in town. I could name them, but I'd be here all night. If you've been to a festival anywhere around town, odds are you've been under a Meredith Party Rental tent or sat at a Meredith Party Rental table. We are looking for employees currently, immediate openings. That means if you apply online or come and see me today, you could be working as soon as Monday. We offer a 40-hour plus work week. If you're able to lift 50 pounds consistently, this is the place for you. It's a good workout. We had in the past, we would hire University of Toledo football players would come over. This would be their workout for the day. They'd come over and lift tents and tables and chairs, and the coaches would be okay with it. They'd continuously eat bowls of rice and loaves of bread and lift tables all day. That was what they did. We start out at $12 an hour. My first job, I started at $4.15 an hour. And there's people in this room right now that are my age or older. Raise your hand if you ever got $12 an hour at your first job. I don't see a whole lot of hands in the air. If you can show up every day for 30 days, and one of the themes I'm picking up on this is, I call it being a grown-up. If you can show up every day for 30 days, you got good attendance and good performance, we bump you up. And we don't do 10 cents an hour, we do $1 an hour. So in that first month, you could be making $13 an hour. As a 15, 16, or 17-year-old, that's pretty decent money. And like Miss Eunice said, be responsible with that money. My wife handles the human resources end of things. We do direct deposit into your bank account. You can go to my wife and say, Michelle, I would like to put half of my paycheck in a checking account, and I want to put half my paycheck in a savings account. So when I go off to college, I'm making sure I got enough money so I'm eating ramen noodles my first year in school. Okay. We're a fun work environment. We work outside. Now we work rain or shine. We try to avoid the rain if we can, but sometimes we get wet. But we are, again, putting up some of the largest and most popular events in the area, concerts, golf tournaments, and festivals, like we said. And we also do the small backyard get-togethers and things like that. If you've got a driver's license and a clean driving record, great. If not, that's not a big deal. We can work with that, and there's always something to do. So this is one of our events I was talking about. This is St. Patrick's Day. A couple years ago downtown before the pandemic, we would fill up the street. The building there on the right side of the picture is Fifth Third Field, home of the Toledo Mud Hens. And the building on the right where the van that says Let's Party is the Blarney Irish Tavern downtown. We covered this entire street with tents. It took us the better part of an entire day to set these tents up. But when they were up in the air, which looks like that, You know, we were getting 2, 3, or 4,000 people down there for a St. Patrick's Day event. That's just some of the stuff we do, and that's a pretty large scale event. But we got it up, and people had a good time. Here's another one of our events that we're setting up for, in fact, in a couple of weeks. And if there's some folks looking for work, boy, I could really use you in 2 weeks as we set up for the Glass City Marathon. The Glass City Marathon is back. Last year it came back, but it was kind of scaled back. This year they're coming back full force, which means the University of Toledo's Lot 10 parking lot and the football field will look like that when we're done. And this is just part of it. This doesn't even show the tents that are on the football field where the race is finished. So this takes us several days to set up. And again, it's hard work, but it's fun work. It's rewarding work, and it's teaching you some skills. It's teaching you how to work with other people. It's teaching you, like they said earlier, put your phone down and look around and look at the surroundings around you, and look at the, you know, a day before this picture was taken, that was an empty parking lot. And now there's thousands of people getting ready to run a race. They're going to be running through something. You can go to your family and say, when it's on the news, these people hanging out in this tent saying, hey, I built that tent. I was there. I was part of that event. And it's something that my wife and I take great pride in, knowing that we're part of some of the biggest events in town, and that people are having fun and having a great memorable day, and that we get to be a part of it. And we want to make sure that those continue to happen. In uncertain times in the pandemic seems to be kind of tapering off. Events are going to be coming back, and we're going to have a lot of work to do. And we would certainly like some of you guys to be a part of it. So this is our warehouse, some pictures of some other small events that we've done. The picture in the bottom is Promenade Park, the ProMedica concert series, some of those concerts that we do set up for. This is just a small picture of our warehouse and some of our guys and some of our trucks. This is early in the morning on a summer morning, getting ready to go. You know, you get all hands on deck, loading up some trucks, and then some of our smaller tents getting put up for one of the local LPGA golf tournaments that comes to town every year. So,
Mr. Rob, if you would click on some of those pictures, they can get a little bigger for us to be able to see.
No, it was a slide that was made. I'm sorry. They can't go any bigger. I'm sorry. It was a slide that we made.
Okay.
But if they would like, they can go to our website, meredithpartyrentals.com, and click on employment. There's also a gallery tab. And there's a lot of pictures up there of some of the wedding setups, because we do weddings as well. A lot of brides in the last couple of years have kind of gotten moved outside. Halls, you know, stopped renting out their halls. And, you know, we brought the hall to them. We built the hall in their backyard so they could have their special day. So there's all kinds of pictures there that they can check out. Again, if you would like to visit our website, check out any pictures, fill out an application. I'd love to talk to you, have you come in and work with us. And again, there's no shame in starting at the bottom. You got to start somewhere, and work your way up. And there's a lot to be said for hard work. And we'd love to have you a part of the family. We are a family-owned business. We have been for 30 plus years. And we treat our employees like family, because a lot of times we're with them more than we're with our own family. We're with our employees so many hours a day. So thank you guys for having us, letting us be a part of this. We greatly appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Mr. Rob. I put your website in the chat for anybody who wanted to connect. We have some attendees on. I am going to, if you guys have the raise your hand icon at the bottom of the screen, you want to ask a question, go ahead and raise your hand and I will unmute you. Any questions?
I know that picture you see of the space that I brung up and it shows CEO in the back, that's Mr. Rob's stage that you see us standing on. And all of those lovely tables and cloths you see, those are all his also. And if I would have showed you more pictures of the event, you would have seen his 10-foot dividers and chairs all through there. That was all Meredith everything.
That goes back to that network, right?
Absolutely. Teamwork makes the dream work. Network and net worth go hand in hand.
Absolutely, absolutely.
When I
Oh.
say his team made the event 1000% easy, they came in, set up the tables, chairs, and the dividers, and the stage. They set up the stage too, and they put the skirt on there. So Meredith, love them.
All right. Well, that is it for tonight. I guess we're gonna end a little bit early. I want to say thank you to Kayla, Malaysia, Shakira for helping me set this up. Thank you, Miss Eunice, for being our keynote speaker today. Thank you to all the panelists and all the attendees. We really appreciate you guys. We are gonna have this recorded and it'll play over the summer. For the summer program, we have a hand up.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I just wanted to add something. This is open to men and women. Okay, we swing 10 pound sledgehammers, and if there's any of the ladies out there that can swing a hammer, I'll put you to work. It don't matter. I had girls from my son's hockey team that came out and outworked most of the boys. So girls, boys, men, women, I'll hire a dog and a cat right now if I need to. I got to get some people in here and get working.
And trust me, we can do it. When I was in the Navy, we carried 40-pound barrels of silica on our shoulders. I was not, I was included in that working party. That's what they called it, a working party. Put that 40 pounds right on your shoulders and go up the stairs. So
what are you doing next week? What are you doing next week?
Actually, you know what? My executive director's already got me booked. So
What's her name?
She's on the call. No, but thank you, everybody. Oh, Miss Eunice, your hands up. You're still on mute, Miss Eunice.
Yes, I just wanted to say what Alexia was saying with Mr. Fairchild. I remember when Alexia's mom bought 811 Belmont and started everything. We're talking about the mid-90s. So when you talk about community connection, building relationships and building upon those relationships, and every time we had an event, yes, we would use Meredith Party Rentals. So this is just like a family reunion.
It definitely is a family reunion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you, everyone. We're going to be back at this next week, same time, Thursday, 6 p.m. We're going to have different partners. The Toledo Zoo will be on. So join us next week. It'll be just as fun and just as relaxed. We don't want to be uptight. We want everybody to be able to relax and communicate their goals. Okay. Thank you for being on, and we'll see you next week.
All righty. Have
Good
a
night,
good
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a good
Bye,
night.
everyone.
So what do you guys think? Is Kayla still on?
That went well. I liked it. I was trying to say about the Cheeto guy. I was gonna just say, I would like to personally thank that guy for making that recipe because I love hot Cheetos.
Cool. All right, well, let's start over from scratch and get it rolling again for next week. All right, see you.
All right, good job, Megan.
Thanks, bye.
All right, have a good night.